Live and direct from Slauson and Overhill. Peace to my neighbors. I got the tunes locked and loaded, but before I get into that,
So today in this behind the scenes, we are shooting an announcement video for Supervision in collaboration with Coachella. The goal was to channel a little Samuel Jackson from Spike Lee Do the Right Thing with a modern day West Coast twist. So we're turning this clothing store into a new age radio station. The intent was warm, simplistic, but dope. In this video, I wanted to focus on three main aspects of filmmaking: camera, production design, and lighting. Let's get into it.
What's up? I'm Mark. I'm going to be the first AC for this shoot with Brittney. On this shoot, we're rocking the Fx3 classic, small but mighty camera. We're using the DZO Vespid Prime lenses. We have some diffusion. I've never used this diffusion before. It's with Condor Blue and Element filters. It's called a quarter Opaline. Looks very similar to a glimmer glass, so add some softness to the sharp digital image of the Fx3 and the Vespid Primes, which are also pretty sharp as well. So we just want to soften it, give it a little bit more flattering look on our talent. The reason we went with the Fx3 was, one of them was budget for sure. It's a very budget-friendly camera, but it packs a big punch in terms of the quality and the look that you get out of this camera. And because it's so compact, the size was really important for this because we're also using the DJI RS3 Pro, I think, the Ronin. So we need something that's lightweight that the gimbal can carry. Like when we go onto the gimbal, we're gonna have to strip a lot of these accessories off just so the gimbal can carry that weight, because it doesn't really have a large capacity for large cameras. So this camera specifically is perfect for that.
2, 3.
Okay, that's good, right? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. High five, Mark.
We can break.
All right, we good.
Yeah. You record?
I wasn't, because I'm so focused. All right, so we're good for lunch. Teamwork.
Yo, make sure y'all subscribe to her, okay? She's an incredible DP, an incredible cam op, and an even better person. So everything that you guys are learning on YouTube through her channel, I met her before I even knew she was on YouTube and had a channel and had a huge following. But she's very grounded, and I appreciate that about her. And she's always wanting to help people. So whether that's YouTube, whether that's on set, she's always teaching folks and putting people on. So I really appreciate that about her. So make sure you guys go ahead and support her.
Originally was gonna try to have the desk straight on, so when I came inside, I can go straight on, but I'm big on symmetry, and the way that this building is kind of formatted, it just wasn't given. And so really was trying to do that to get more depth as well, but instead, because we're using a TV now, and we're using that as the on-air type logo, we decided to get a little bit more symmetry, so we kind of turned the desk a little. It's giving a vibe. Mark, do you have Artemis or Cat Rage? You got Cat Rage? Can I see your phone?
I didn't want to keep my phone anyway.
We cut to in here. Yeah, and then that's gonna establish the inside. And then we are gonna get this shot because that's his first talking situation. Then everything else is on sticks, but I think we keep it on Dana.
And just float.
And just float, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put the Dana on? Oh, we'll have that first one where it's resting on here, and then we just put it on Matthew's.
Yeah.
You want casters on there? That way we could just flow instead of having to lift it up every time.
Yeah. But how higher is the casters gonna make
the
it?
Matthews. This is good for the Matthews.
Okay.
This
But then when we move,
how much higher?
Yeah, this is the lowest that we're gonna be.
What's the highest you think?
Well, remember that back shot has to be high.
And you'll want that on camera.
Now we should probably put.
I feel like that one would be sticks.
Yeah, we should put that on sticks. But this one over here, we can all the close-ups, all that we can just keep it on. Yeah.
On map, yeah. So
Okay.
let's
So we're gonna be losing a lot of that. I mean, we lose on both sides, but like, all right, you know what? I'll scoot it back. That's what I'll do. I'll scoot it back to give us the 2 inches.
To punch in.
Yeah. So. And then what's this black thing? And then we'll basically take everything out of that room once we start shooting and put it in the storage. But like this looks good to me. I'm actually happy about it. I like the distortion because I wanted to give like that, you know, look. So yeah. Okay. So Duchesne, we could put this back and then yeah, we can see audition and see what that looks like when he puts that light up. And then Caleb, once you're done with that, come close like you're about to focus and lock in.
I'm about to lock in, y'all. Lock in.
Wide establishing.
Yep.
Cut to our low angle.
That's like, the low is like our main
that's
angle.
like our main when he's like, I'm here to give it.
Exactly. That's the one we go to. That's kind of like that Spike Lee wide with a little distortion because it's a wide angle. Then we get the tights when he's saying stuff that might really hit.
Yep.
And then we can just do like one of this, like when you guys go into post, if it makes sense. But that wide of just like that angle I just got, because those lights are gonna be on in the back. I think what's really, really good, LA, should be just his mouth.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm here live and direct from Supervision Storefront. I feel like that should be outdoors and this wide, that shows the overall supervision.
Yep.
And then I got the tunes locked and loaded. That could potentially be that move in.
I got the tunes.
Or it could be a move first, and then he's like, when it gets here, he says it. So it's like we do this move, and he's like, I got the tunes locked and loaded directly to it.
This shit finna be fire, bro.
put tubes underneath here. That way, that look like
Or like
glow.
maybe under here.
Yeah,
so
we'll be out of frame.
If you put it under here, then it kind of falls on it.
Right.
Yeah, that works. And then the other one will be over here. She's gonna put some records over here.
Okay.
And then that'll be just the straight arms. Should we do green in the middle, and then do an orange, and then do an orange?
So green, orange, orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just need to show some close-ups of some stuff. And I don't think we have to go crazy. I mean, like add as much as we would over here so we can make it different. And then over there, it'll just be like straight ons because I really kind of like how it is. But then I might do some movements of like through the clothes.
Okay.
We don't have to do anything through the clothes. I don't think we necessarily have to do anything over here. But what I will say is if you have that 2400, since they're not in there, we can add some kind of texture onto the wall.
Okay.
To just, you know, flash onto here so that there's like some shadow and some texture when I do that shot.
Okay.
That straight on shot.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Got you.
And then that's really it.
Okay. My name's Shane Foster. I'm the gaffer, and we're just gonna go through our lighting setup for today. We're gonna key with a 2400 beat. We're probably gonna shoot it through a full Magic. Then we're blacking out so that this is our only source coming in. So we have a 12 by and an 8 by neg. Then we're gonna have some duve just for this little slither of window. Everything else is MCs right behind you for these, and then MCs here. We have a backlight with a 300C and a mini Fresnel. We have some museum type lighting for, it's gonna be 2 fixtures back there, like the LA hat that we have set up back there. We're gonna set up another 300C with Alico, just for some detail on the wall. And here we have a 600C on a custom-made dolly by Val that's gonna give us our ambient feel throughout the shoot. For the most part, everything in the store will be like detailed lighting, so we'll just be adding like small fixtures just to highlight the product in the store. So we're adding tubes underneath these 2 shelves here. Just smaller little additional detail lights, nothing big. Our biggest source is already set up, and that's gonna do a lot for us. And then after that, we'll just be shaping from that moment on.
So just a little bit, what is, I don't know, I guess the look you're going for and why you're placing the sources the way you are?
Well, after talking to Brittney, she wanted to go with a warm push. So we're competing with the daylight outside. So we got white buildings and everything. So we're trying to control what's happening naturally and then bringing in our own light so that we just have that source coming in. But that's what makes lighting fun, because sometimes it isn't about adding, it's sometimes about subtracting what's happening naturally and then shaping. And that's what we're doing today with if you look, we have LED 12 by neg, 8 by neg, we have scrap dual, we have 4 by flash, and that's really helping us keep the contrast in here. We can have it right there, and then if it's a buy, like once I mention it to her, we'll just slide it.
Sounds good. That's right, shoelace ties. I spent 20 years learning how to tie shoelaces.
Hey, I'm Charnel and I'm the production designer. For this supervision set, we really wanted to emphasize the brand, but also make it feel like we are in a radio station. But we didn't want it to be a vintage radio station, we wanted it to be a modern radio station. So that looks more digital than vinyls and records. Luckily, the space already had like really amazing pieces, so I was able to just throw them in there, add some extra greenery, but we just added accents. So the mixing table, sound table, the laptops, adding in that supervision logos to bring it all together. So you feel like you're in a radio station, a modern one, with a little flair and a little flavor. One thing I really wanted to add into the space are musical artists that actually did perform at Coachella and past artists that reflect the culture of Coachella. So we have Marvin Gaye, we have Solange, Frank Ocean. So we wanted to add those pieces to bring the story together, to connect with Coachella and supervision at the same time.
Go ahead.
Scene 1, take 5, Mark.
But you know what? Fuck them damn wildfires. We in this thing together. They tried to burn us down, but they couldn't, and it taught us something. They can burn down our house, but LA is still our home. We still have our community. We still have our family. We gonna ride for each other. From Crenshaw to... Hey! Fuck y'all doing, man? I got... Okay, I can pick up from there?
Yep.
I got the tunes locked and loaded. But before I get to that, I got a little message for y'all.
Yeah, it's slightly off.
Yeah.
I think if he turns his body a little bit more, then he'll be. Let me see you lean in a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Yep. Is that balance?
But the crazy thing about it...
I mean, he could. Does that look good to you? We just need like 10 to 15 seconds for all the B-roll. Nothing too crazy.
Focus on the closest.
Yeah, so focus on the close and then you can rack to the I'll tell you when to rack. And action. That's straight on, that's straight on.
I'll cut to somebody else.
I'll have you just hold it, and I'm gonna have it this way.
I need the closest affordable.
Yeah, down. That's probably fine. And then we can go wide open, Mark. Okay, cool. Huh?
Okay.
And what's our intensity on our key?
On our key, 15%.
So we could probably go up for the sake of this, yeah. And then this will come over here a little bit more.
We'll go second riser.
Okay, see. Hold on, let me see. Oh, okay.
Whatever you guys secure, I'll bring it behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all come out.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
no.
guys will come to this side of it.
You just scooted back.
Is there a way that I can tell y'all what I need?
Yeah.
Can you pan it to the left?
Ready?
Yeah. Keep going. Actually, we might need to scoot it back some. Okay, so we are 2 seconds away, Natalie. Okay, cool. Excuse me.
Wake up, you wake. This is Supervision Radio, live and direct from Slauson and Overhill. Peace to my neighbors.
What's going on? My name is Femi Okusanya, just call me Femi for short. Head of Fourth Frame Studios, content studio out here in Los Angeles. We're doing this amazing collaboration project with Supervision Studios. Hit up Gav a few weeks ago, told him I was looking for a muse, looking for something to create around, and he had this really dope collab dropping with Coachella. And so from that, drafted up a script, Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing inspired. He had the homie Quan pull up, do the dialogue for it. Amazing piece. Brittney's an amazing DP. I think the lighting in here looked amazing. Got all the shots we wanted. Extremely happy. You know, I always tell everybody that content filmmaking is one of the most collaborative art forms out there. Unless you're a 300-piece orchestra, it literally takes every single person on set, from the PA to art to the DP to the director to the actors to the executive producers to the wardrobe stylists, everybody to make a really dope piece of work. And so I'm very lucky to have worked with everybody on set today. Really happy the way things turned out, and be on the lookout for the next one. Signing out.
That's a wrap.
That is official. I've called rap like 3 times today. I feel so bad because we just kept figuring out what else we needed, but this is an official wrap on Fourth Frame Supervision Coachella shoot. Thank you.
And that's the truth, Ruth.